every week we get this privilege of interacting with the speaker who has walked this path, the spiritual path, and balance the professional and the spiritual path. And we discuss, we it's very enlightening to see masters coming over every weekend and then sharing those insights with us. So today we have yet another wonderful master, Bindu ji. So let's welcome Bindu Bodanapu. So let me give a short introduction. I'm sure many of you know her very well, but still let me do the honors. I'm privileged to do that. So Bindu is a chartered accountant by profession with over 23 years of corporate experience. Her journey into meditation began about 5 years ago, and that led her to discover her life purpose through this practice. So she's a trained coach, therapist, and a corporate trainer. Bindu is founder of Conscious Leadership Academy with a vision to empower leaders to elevate humanity for a sustainable planet. She is a doctoral student of metaphysics and has learned wisdom directly from many scientists and leading mentors throughout the globe. An active member of Dr. Bruce Lipton's community, she shares this knowledge globally. Bindu has conducted many global meditation challenges, brought people together across the globe. She is also the author of the book named Self-Love Revolution and hosts a podcast that brings knowledge of metaphysics, personal development, and spiritual sciences to help people manifest their dreams. Bindu specializes in helping corporate leaders break free from stress and anxiety. These are some things which almost all the corporate executives face. So, Bindu, we are so delighted to have you once again. Thank you so much for accepting this, invitation. Thank you so much for accepting. We are so delighted to have you here.
Good morning. Namaste, everyone around the world. It's my great privilege to be here today.
When I was going through this, your introduction, I was a little curious to know. I mean, you are a chartered accountant, and in the career, and what led you to transition into life coaching? That's something, I know meditation is, and the purpose is the reason behind, but still life coaching, and you had taken that as a serious, part of your career. And yeah, we are just curious to know. Let's start with this question, perhaps.
Thank you, Sunil. Yes, I think my journey into meditation again started 5 years ago. And at that time, I was somebody just like a corporate employee who was, I think, suffering from stress and anxiety. It's a corporate game, right? So working in corporate, it's not going to be easy. And being a chartered accountant, the finance world, although it looks rosy from outside, being a chartered accountant, but in fact, it is very challenging. It is very stressful. So I was somebody who was going through stress and anxiety quite badly. And this is when the meditation came into my world. And this is just before COVID. So when I kind of, because I was suffering from anxiety and stress, I mean, obviously I used to have palpitations, I used to have, anxiety attacks at some point. And because I don't know if anybody works in finance or, being a chartered accountant, it is a marathon. It is like one after the other. You have, month ends, quarter ends, year ends, and there's never a time you could actually breathe. So this is what was happening in my life, and this is when doctors told me maybe you should take some antidepressants or something to really, kind of calm your mind. But I had never believed in that, and this is when meditation came into my life, and this is when I saw the real bliss. I was somebody suffering from a corporate burnout who went from burnout to bliss through meditation. And this is when I started delving more into meditation. I've done many, many sessions, I think through PMC, English, Telugu. I think I did Inner Journey. There was a beautiful program that was conducted, I think 30 or 40 days. I think I did 3 rounds of the Inner Journey program that actually took place around midnight our time because I live in the UK. But I never bothered about the timings, but I really wanted to learn more. There was a lot of fire in me. There's a lot of curiosity. So this is when I started. So I started learning from each and every master. I started reading a lot of books because Patriji always advocates a lot about reading books. So this is when I started reading a lot of books and I gained a lot of knowledge. So I was curious to know more. And this is when I kind of, with this knowledge, I started learning from many, many masters across the world. And again, working with many scientists directly. I think one great inspiration for me is Dr. Bruce Lipton. And, his knowledge has given me a sort of an awakening. And then Dr. Joe Dispenza, Greg Braden, Dr. David Hamilton, Dr. Shamini Jain, and many more scientists this way. So this is when I've decided that, again, I kind of discovered my life purpose only through meditation, and the time has come. And then I said, okay, it's now high time I leave my corporate world and start teaching what I've learned from various scientists across the globe. So, because I come from the finance world and I've seen many people nowadays, I mean, it's been always there, but many people suffer from stress and anxiety, especially in the corporate world. So this is where I thought I could really help many people come out of, and because of that, they go into depression. I see many people facing depression. Um, Nowadays, and you see young children more often facing depression, anxiety, stress. So this is like a pandemic now. So this is why I've chosen to leave my corporate world and completely come into spirituality.
True. Yeah, you rightly said it's like that's the right pandemic. That's the pandemic that's going on, known and unknown. Many of us are going through that, and something like this is very important. You mentioned about Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Lipton, that has they have influenced you very much. So one side we have meditation, that is something to be experienced, and on the other hand we have, you're meeting many scientists, and Joe Dispenzas and Bruce Lipton, they have a lot of powerhouse of in knowledge
Knowledge.
that
Yeah.
and information that really helps. So I would like to just uh, curiously know more about what is that what is that stood out, and what exactly I mean, probably you would have attended the workshops with these personalities as well. So how did that, two things I want to ask you. One is from in terms of knowledge, what is that stood out? And second thing is, how is that helping in your coaching philosophy?
Yeah. So, one thing that always Dr. Bruce Lipton talks about is the great collapse is coming, and the Earth planet is going into extinction very soon. It's purely because of human behavior. Human beings are powerful co-creators who come to this planet Earth to create. But because we are living in fear, we're actually destroying the planet. He says by 2053, we would not be able to see any fish in the ocean. It's because purely of the thought vibration that we are sending out of fear. And this is why we see a lot of these, COVID was one thing, and then we see earthquakes, tsunamis, all these are happening only because of the thought vibration of fear that we are sending out, right? So I had many conversations with him, and he did mention that my work should not actually be at, if I'm, because I work with a corporate, it should not actually be at the mid management or a lower management. It has to be at the top management because they are the decision makers. They are the people who are actually destroying the planet. So this is why this is a big revelation. This is what has actually kind of had an awakening that there is many people who, I know there's many people who's working to for the sustainability of the planet, but I would be one of them as well, to kind of create a ripple effect by sharing this knowledge more than anything else.
Wonderful. And I also see that you are also certified with different other coaching fields like NLP, emotional intelligence, theta healing, etc.
Mm.
So, how do you know, put all these things or integrate all these things into your coaching approach? And On one side, I see, yes, these are very much important. On the other side, I'm just curious, if is that too much or is it really necessary? How do you look at that?
Yeah, I think these all are just the tools in your toolbox. I mean, you might not use all of them, but most importantly, what I use is I'm a heart certified or the licensed heart math coach. And Heart Math organization is the only organization who has done over 25 years of research on the power of heart. And this organization is highly endorsed by Bruce Lipton, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Greg Braden, Dr. Shamni Jain, David Hamilton, many more scientists, because they bring in science and spirituality together, and they provide a scientific backup. And our heart is many, many times powerful than our brain, because the brain sends the signal out, and it's the heart that brings the event into our life. So now we see many people very prematurely dying out of heart attacks. The only reason is because of stress. Heart is the only organ in the body that responds to the external environment more quicker than any other organ in the body. So when stress attacks the body, people tend to get heart attacks. That is why we see many people, especially corporates, working in the corporates, are dying prematurely, even 30s, 40s, right? Very prematurely is because of heart attacks. It's because of stress. And this is why I promote a lot of heart math program to the corporate world. So basically, when stress, it's the heart attack. The way it goes is heart attacks, brain strokes, and paralysis. This is the order. So this is why using our heart is very important. Just like the way stress attacks our body and we get impacted, we can use our heart to regulate our stress. There's many tools and techniques that's given by Heart Math Institute to regulate stress and anxiety using our heart techniques. There's many techniques that's been taught that is using our heart. And this is what I highly recommend and promote a lot in the corporate world.
Yeah, you almost told the next question that I was about to ask about the corporate training. So, can you throw more light into how life coaching impacts the workplace dynamics? Work-life balance is something which everyone is uh, looking forward to. The organizations, on the other hand, also are widely saying we provide the work-life balance, but somewhere there is something that happens, and as you rightly said, people get into different kind of issues like heart attacks or things like that. So if you can give some more experience, since you yourself have been in the corporate and you have dealt with many corporate trainings, so can you throw us more light on this side of experience?
Absolutely. So stress at work does not stay at work. It comes home along with you, right? So this is a kind of a ripple effect that's causing from workplace to home. So when as a woman, when we come home and we are stressed, our behavior changes, the way we speak changes. And then when we have children, the way we talk to children changes, right? And this is when it really plays a huge role. And conscious parenting is the need of the hour. The reason why we see many youngsters or young children again having illnesses, or they're not like the previous in the 90s world, where they're not actually having a good relationship with the parents or the peers, and a lot of mental health issues is caused only because of stress. And the parenting, the need for right parenting or the conscious parenting is the need for the hour. And Dr. Bruce highly advocates conscious parenting. So what happens in the corporate world or even in anybody's day-to-day life, when women are in chronic stress, especially women who are working, they undergo chronic stress during the pregnancy. And this is when the children are born, we see a lot of autism and also ADHD increasing now, is purely because of that. So this is an awareness that needs to be, shared with everyone, especially working women. So stress is actually a killer. The reason why people are dying, or they're impacted or affected by various diseases is because of stress. When stress attacks our body, we have 50 trillion cells in our body. Each and every cell has consciousness, and every cell listening to our thoughts in our mind. Right? When every thought we are every thought that we are thinking, that there's a chemistry that's happening inside our body in every cell. So biologically, neurologically, chemically, and physiologically. So when there is a chemistry that is happening inside our body changes according to what we are thinking. If we are in an elated state, if we are happy, we tend to expand. Whereas when we are under stress, we tend to contract, right? And when the immune system goes down, we tend to attract all sorts of illnesses. And also, what happens is, HeartMath Institute has actually done a research that's called a field of energy. Lynn McGard, who's also my mentor, she's again a New York best time seller. All her books are, and there's the intention experiment. The field. The field is nothing but the energy that is surrounding us, because every thought you're thinking is vibrating in the universe, and the kind of feeling you have in your heart is actually drawing the event into your life. So when you have a feeling, many people ask me, how come people see, if you see, when I, for example, if I go home very stressed from work, and my family does not need to even, I don't even have to say a single word to my family. By looking at me, they know that I'm under stress. How does this happen? So heart has there's an electromagnetic field around the body. We are nothing but electromagnetic beings, and the heart has a huge electromagnetic field around it. So whatever feeling we're having inside is actually vibrating. So the person around us, when we come together, so the field around each of us actually overlaps. So when I have a feeling of anger, frustration, either jealousy or greed, the next person tend to receive that signal. So this is how the thoughts are vibrated, and they receive it through telepathy. So again, telepathy is something that we heard about in our Asian wisdom, but this is what the scientists are now discovering, that we are always broadcasting messages. We don't need to even say a single word, but it actually ripples through in this field of energy. So people get our message, and even with before we say a single word, they know how we are feeling. And when we are angry, you don't have to even say a word, but you can feel the response from the other person, that they are also responding to you in a different way, not happily, but probably aggressively. So there is a lot of research. All these papers are available to public, where if anybody is interested, they can just go and read this research paper by HeartMath Institute, how our heart is broadcasting messages into this field, and how the person next to you is actually receiving this information even before you say a single word. And they have done, again, this is basically called coherence healing. If this is what is actually the truth, what if we can use this energy to heal our body, right? So there is something called coherence healing, when few people come together, and with a field of energy from the heart, we can actually heal a person who wants healing. So this is all very scientific, and this is actually proven by HeartMath Institute.
Wonderful, because the corporates, the when you see from the other side of the, like the corporate, the employees, they look at, mostly all of them are very logical minded, and it's not easy to just go sit and meditate, go and talk about meditation. They may not take it, they may not buy that concept readily
Absolutely.
unless there is any. And you rightly mentioned about some research by HeartMath and other various researches done. So knowing this, according to your experience, are there questions like this coming, the logical side of brain, a lot of brains asking, uh, I mean, there is a lot of science behind. People talk about the science behind, and there is science. But from audience perspective, the corporate audience perspective, how do they correlate this? Do they just believe what you say, or do they question from the scientific perspective? And how do you tackle that?
Yeah, not really. I mean, I've done a lot of corporate events and they actually received this information. And even in the meeting itself, when I was doing the corporate training, I could see that ripple of energy, of happiness. One thing which I advise them as a tool, the tool that I give away is appreciation, appreciating every employee, taking appreciation breaks, just like the way we take coffee breaks, tea breaks. Why don't you take appreciation breaks? Like, when you go for a coffee, why don't you just appreciate your colleague? Why don't you say something nice to your co-worker, right? And once they start doing it, and there is a sort of a bond that is forming in the team. So it's all about appreciation. Heart is a powerful tool to either, you could even have bitterness and hatred, or you can actually heal your body with love. And love is the highest frequency in this universe, which actually can heal your body, it can mend your relationships, or you can actually heal the world as well. So this is why we talk a lot about the heart than the brain, because we always in the corporate world, it's all about using a logic mind, using the brain. But Heart Math Institute, we talk a lot about using your heart. That is why they say follow your heart more than the brain, right?
Yes, absolutely, very much. And I can also see you are a certified Ho'oponopono practitioner as well.
Yes, I did.
Can you throw some light about what this practice is about and how one can benefit?
Yeah, so Ho'oponopono has been in existence for many, many years, but I think it became more popular when one of the known, he's a metaphysical teacher, Joe Vitale, has brought this into light, where he has found Dr. Hulin actually healing mental health patients, in the jail, who are basically, though they are criminals, but they suffer with mental diseases. So he was able to heal all these people just by saying these four phrases. And this is very much metaphysical in nature, but it actually works. It is all about, we all are, again, if you go back to the crux of it or the root of it, we all are interconnected in the universe, right? And this is why we're doing this program. So when we start, it's according to the Hawaiian technique, in the olden days, if there is somebody having illnesses or anybody having conflicts, it is purely because of, there is something in your heart that needs to be changed. If you have hatred, if you have anger, if you have jealousy towards some people, it is why we actually attract illnesses. According to Dr. Joseph Murphy, in the book The Power of Subconscious Mind, he says that when you have feelings of hatred, jealousy, anger for any person, the subconscious mind is an emotional mind. It does not reject. It takes everything that you think about. Whereas a conscious mind is only 10% of the mind, where you can actually think about something, but the emotional mind is a subconscious mind. So when you have any sort of feeling of anger, frustration, hatred, jealousy towards somebody, the subconscious mind, which is an emotional mind, takes it into the mind, and it needs some sort of a venting out mechanism. And the venting out mechanism is nothing but our diseases. So we tend to have diseases. And this is why to heal our body, we just need to let go of all these emotions of hatred, forgiveness. Forgiveness is, in metaphysical way, forgiveness is actually the one important thing that we need to do to either heal our body, to either bring abundance into our life, or, to change our relationships, or anything that is possible is through forgiveness. And this Ho'oponopono is a forgiveness prayer where you tend to forgive, anything. The crux of it is anything that is happening in your life is the responsibility is not actually the other person, it is you. You're the sole person responsible for any events happening in your life. So to change that, you need to practice forgiveness. And this is what Ho'oponopono is all about.
And I'm sure you'll be using that in your corporate trainings as well, right?
Yeah, I don't specifically talk about Ho'oponopono. I talk about the importance of forgiveness
Yeah.
and what happens to your heart when you don't forgive other people. You tend to, your heart gets actually closed. But here we want to, when you want expansion, you need to open your heart. This is what it's all about. So, and again, corporate world is, there is no, according to Heart Math Institute, they say, what is the opposite of stress? And the opposite of stress is nothing but kindness. So kindness and corporate world does not go together, right? And this is why there is a lack of kindness in the corporate world. And Dr. David Hamilton, who is I'm not sure if everybody knows about him. He's a research scientist in the pharmaceutical industry who was basically doing research on the drugs for healing heart diseases. So he basically discovered that the drugs does not heal your body. They only suppress the symptoms. So what he has done has come out of the the whole of his career, and then he started writing books. And one of the most very transformative book and also New York Times bestseller is The Five Side Effects of Kindness. It's a wonderful read, and in that book he talks about how you can heal your body with your heart. So how kindness can help you to heal your body. So one important thing about kindness is it actually helps you to heal your heart. So it's so important that we actually practice kindness. So kindness can help your arteries. One of the reason why cardiovascular diseases and people die because of heart attacks is purely because of the blocked arteries, right? When you express kindness, the kindness has the ability to even expand your arteries and clear your arteries. So this is how powerful it is. Kindness can help you with your mental well-being, emotional well-being. It can help you to heal your heart. There's n number of benefits. And if anybody has not read that book, I highly recommend everyone to read the book. It's called The Five Side Effects of Kindness by Dr. David Hamilton.
Wow. Thank you so much. That is wonderful.
Yes.
So, you mentioned about metaphysics, and you're also a doctoral student of this subject. Is it, if you're okay to, um, speak something about it, about what exactly is the research that you're doing?
Yeah. So, metaphysics is all about the nature of reality. So, it is a branch of philosophy that talks about the nature of reality and also why we are existing and the fundamental principle that actually govern the universe. So, most of these laws of the universe has never been taught to us in schools, right? And I think nowadays a lot of people talk about law of attraction. That is just one law of the universe, but there's many laws like that that govern the universe. So this is what the philosophy of metaphysics is all about. It is all about consciousness. So what is consciousness? Consciousness is nothing but your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and your conscious and your subconscious belief systems is consciousness. So if you know what is consciousness and how you can become, and again, meditation is the basis for everything. With meditation we tend to become aware of who we are, and meditation helps you to bring self-awareness, right? So this is why meditation is the must fundamental for everyone. So metaphysics is all about that. It is basically understanding the underlying truth of who we are, the nature of reality, and how we can actually transform our life, because many of the people do believe that whatever life they're living is purely based on karma or the law of cause and effect. But then we have the power to change our life by understanding who we are, what we are, and the laws that govern the universe. We have the power to truly transform our life. So this is why this is something which I came across, and I really was fascinated by this knowledge, and truly I love sharing this knowledge with everyone, because if we understand the nature of reality and how we can raise a consciousness, it's all about raising a consciousness, empowering. It's all about personal transformation, empowering ourselves to the knowledge of what is energy, vibration, consciousness. And this will help us to recognize the true power that lies within us. And again, it offers the clarity of why are we here, what is death. And again, this is something that is very something we all are familiar with, that death is nothing but we actually move from one body to another. So it's all about understanding, all about then how we are connected in the universe, and then how can we use the universal laws like law of attraction, law of vibration, law of cause and effect, and law of correspondence, and all these to truly, truly transform our life.
Yeah, we hear quite often about this cause and effect and law of karma. Can you give us some examples, either from your own experience or through any of your coaching references?
Yeah, so law of cause and effect basically talks about whatever we do now is actually there is an effect to each and everything that we do. So it's nothing but karma. So every action has a corresponding reaction. This is similar idea to law of karma. So whatever you do now comes back to you either positively or negatively. So if you give out positivity, you reap the fruits of it. If you do something negatively, you pay the debt. So that is exactly what it is. By understanding this law, it encourages us to take conscious positive decisions, knowing that they will influence us in future. So you would not cause any harm to anybody, because you have to pay the debt if you actually cause a harm to somebody. It fosters more of accountability and also ethical behavior. So this is what law of cause and effect is in short.
Yeah, and so that's where meditation helps, because what has gone in the past is, I mean, what was there in the past is already gone. We don't have any control over it. We don't have any control over what is happening in the future. But this moment is what we are
Yeah,
having a direct control, and that's where I think meditation also helps. Be conscious, be aware, and that accountability and that you mentioned. Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely, absolutely, very much. So then we kind of come out of this cycle of karma. As you rightly said, you created positive things when you are doing it consciously, whatever that you or actions.
Yes.
So I also see that Patriji, you learned Anapanasati meditation, and you connected with Patriji, and you came into this meditation side as well. So how did you connect with Patriji, and what is your experience with him?
So I have never physically, met Patriji, but I have spoken to him through Zoom, and he did ask me what was my experience and how did I come into meditation. So I did mention to him, and he gave me the message: the way you transform yourself, you need to transform the whole world. That was his message to me. So at that time, I was very new to meditation, but now I see all that dots connecting. Yeah.
Oh wow, wonderful! You you explain that so simply and in simple words, but that
Yeah.
explains
Yeah.
almost a book.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
So, and
I've
that's when
also seen him dreams, and also seeing very much bigger something, but I have not yet come to that, but I do see that happening at some point.
yeah, and I think that's the reason your path is very clear. Your purpose
Yeah.
is very clear
Mm.
along with this. Yes.
Absolutely.
So you feel meditation has played a major role in whatever you're doing? I mean, if we can try to dissect, I think you mentioned you came into meditation 5 years, but 5 years before, right? So 5 years before getting into meditation versus after getting to meditation, you have been through both sides of the journey. So how do you see that? I'm trying to see how meditation really helps, and does it really help, or how do you see this, your side of life between this, on both
Yeah.
sides?
So yes, it is it's very interesting because I would say it's a 360-degree transformation. Before coming into meditation, it's all about, how can I be better? How can I get a better name in the society in terms of my corporate career? How can I be better than somebody? It's all about, and I think comparison, and then, what I see, there is no peace of mind. Although I think when I was studying my ACCA or my chartered accountancy, one goal for me was to, finish my chartered accountancy, because I come from a science background. Actually, I've done my degree in sciences in India, but then I moved into, doing chartered accountancy, which is a very big difference because I've never known the meaning of accounts. And so for me, it is like learning ABCD. So, but it took me a very long time. It's not easy. It's never been easy. And, it took me considerable amount of time with the family and children to finish my chartered accountancy. And I felt that is the goal. And then from being a chartered accountant, then I wanted to move into IT. So again, I did a lot of certifications, and then I moved into IT, and I was working for one of the largest retailer in the UK, and for one of the world's largest transformation project. So I felt that was a big, big win. But when meditation came to me, it is all about, how can I um, connect with people? It's all about, there's never I was I was losing myself in this process. I never had that peace of mind. I never had that real contentment. There was a void in my life. Although I can see material success, but not physical, spiritually. So this is when meditation came into my world. I think there's a 360-degree transformation where I kind of started, just focusing on myself, just myself. And this is where I've learned the true meaning of self-love. It's everything starts with self-love, right? And this was the reason why I wrote this book about self-love, because many women like me, I think, they burn out because they're giving and giving and giving. They're either trying to please their family or the society or their employee, but never understanding the true meaning of why they're here, or what is their role in this birth, right? So I think everything starts with self-love, and that's when I started truly focusing on myself. I started loving myself more. I categorically started saying no to what I don't like. Earlier, I used to do things where people, just to please people, but I stopped that people pleasing, and I became quite silent through meditation. It's all about self introspection, to see what are the thoughts that's going in my mind. And I felt like I wanted to have more friends then before meditation, but now I see books as my friends. This is what I surround myself with most of the time. I love reading books, and I love listening to podcasts, or, associating myself with people who I can be more inspired. So this is the biggest transformation. And now I see how can I truly help people to transform their lives, because I see many people go through a lot of challenges because of their inner child traumas, or either because of the societal pressures, or they're going through challenges because of the children, but they don't understand children come into our life to teach us a lesson, right? All these issues that we are facing currently is purely because of our inner child issues, because because of the parenting that we had. And again, Dr. Bruce Lipton talks a lot about conscious parenting, and why our life is as such, what we are living right now is purely because of this programming that we had from right from even before birth, the time we are in our mother's womb, to 7 years of age. We are completely formed, we are programmed completely. The kind of behaviors, the kind of thinking patterns, the kind of your personality, this is what it is. So now I've learned that all these things can be changed very easily. So I don't now really have to go around anyone, I don't have to chase anyone. I attract who I really want. So understanding the laws of the universe and then reprogramming my subconscious mind, I think it's 360-degree transformation.
Wow. So wonderful to hear that. Thank you so much. I was just looking at the time, and we have participants also. Friends, we would like to open up questions. If you have any, please feel free to type your questions on the chat or raise your hands to ask the question directly with Bindu. But I'm the participants post questions. Any final thought or any final message you want to leave us with, Bindu?
I think the message that I like to give is we all have the power within us, and meditation is a way to awaken the divinity within ourselves. And meditation has to be an integral part of our life. Along with meditation, like Patriji always said, knowing the knowledge, and Dr. Bruce Lipton says, knowledge is always power. So reading as many books as we can is where we can truly empower ourselves. Meditation is great, but again, that's not complete. Empowering ourselves with true knowledge is something that's always needed. And again, associating who we are associating ourselves is what we are an average of 5 people we associate with, right? So we form beliefs based on the people we speak to. So always, I would say, if we want to truly transform life, it is very important to associate ourselves with people who we can inspire, looking at their journey, at their success. Because we generally, Asian parenting is as such that we really force our children to study hard and work hard. These are limiting beliefs. We are actually programming our children with very, very limiting beliefs. And, again, the reason why we want our children to study hard is because we want them to be successful. But success does not really mean anything. Success without having peace of mind is not being successful. Again, without money is not successful. So again, educating them about, the importance of having peace of mind, emotional resilience is something really very much needed. We as parents have to become really emotionally resilient. Again, like the heart math interviews talk about, and that the kind of thoughts we're thinking is vibrating. The person around you really gets that self-talk, it's a battle that's happening in our minds, even though if we are not able to express ourselves, being expressive is very important. I think one thing that I truly see in the corporate world is they might not like their colleagues, they might not like their bosses, but then they don't really express themselves. And this is when we cause emotional blocks in our body. If you want to truly transform, being brave, one thing I've learned through meditation is becoming fearless. I'm never a person who would come on camera and talk like this, or I'm never a person who would put my hand up and talk at schools. I'm never a person who would even put up my hand and speak in meetings at workplace. I would be the last person because I truly doubted myself firstly. And I'm somebody who's very, very shy. And I would not even open my mouth. But now being so shy, very coy person as a personality, to somebody who can really talk, in front of any number of people, because I've become my authentic self. I really don't, um, it really doesn't matter to me what other people talk about me, if somebody judges me or comments about me. What I've learned through meditation is no judgments, no comments, and only kind of relationship that is truly, truly important and truly that can transform anybody is friendship. Like Patriji said, this is something that I truly believed in. Any relationship, either with your a child, either with your parents or either with your spouse, I think friendship, that is very important, because in friendship, we don't have boundaries. In friendship, we don't have fear. Fear is something we all need to let go. And I think the importance of practicing meditation and having this knowledge is firstly is to let go of fear. When you become fearless, There's nothing that can stop you to become anything. You can truly transform your life. You can heal your relationships, you can heal your body, you can bring in abundance. There's no limits. Like, quantum physics says we have every possibility in the quantum field. So it's very important that we learn this knowledge and truly empower ourselves. And we need to become that conscious creators to create the life we want to create.
Correct. Thank you so much. Wow, wonderful. We have I can see Vikal raising hand, but I want to pick this question posted by Satyam ji. It's a very, very important question. How to maintain consistency in the practice of meditation? I think she mentioned medication, but it's meditation. Yeah.
Yeah.
How to maintain
I
consistency?
think,
I think this is something which most of us lack. Yeah. Please.
yes. I think consistency is a key for anything, truly. I mean, even if you want to excel yourself, either in any field, consistency is the key. To have consistency, again, with meditation, it's all about, changing your habits. You got to break the habit of being yourself. Every thought gives rise to same emotions. Every emotion gives rise to same feeling. Same feelings gives rise to same experiences. Experiences becomes your personality, and your personality becomes your personal reality. And this is why we caught up in this. To break this vicious cycle, all we need to do is break the habit of being ourselves. So if you're a person who wakes up at 6:30 in the morning and then you rush to work, the moment you wake up, you're rushing, your brain state goes into high beta. That means your brain state is very, very active. But why not change it? I mean, why don't you wake up 1 hour early? Give yourself that time, that me time, to meditate in the morning. Take time to read at least a page or a two. Start with small habits. The secret of changing a life lies in the very small habits. So it's important to maintain consistency. It's all about changing your habits. And everybody of us are only gifted with 24 hours and two arms and one brain, right? So if some people are there creating wonders in life, we all are gifted with the same brain. We all are born geniuses. Although we talk about only few people as genius, I mean the known genius Albert Einstein, and they actually did a research on Albert Einstein's brain to see how come he's so intelligent, and they have discovered that his brain looked none other than our brain, except he had more wrinkles in his brain. And research says he's only used 10% of his brain. But we all are born with the same brain. We all are geniuses. But why we are not showing up as a genius? Because of the programming that we have, that is given to us by our parents, teachers, and society, and the people who you associate yourself with becomes those hardwired beliefs in your subconscious mind. Those are hardwiring programs. So in order for you to change your life, you got to change your habits. It is all lies in the habits that you have right now. So to maintain consistency, answering to the question, to maintain consistency, just look at your lifestyle. What is the lifestyle you're having right now? What are your habits? What do you do first thing in the morning? What is the time you're waking up in the morning? So if you're waking up at 6:30 or 6 o'clock, why not wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning? Even if you wake up at 5, you're still not trying to meditate or struggling with meditation, wake up at 4 o'clock. Like Patriji always said, 1 hour of meditation is equivalent to 4 hours of sleep or 5 hours of sleep. This is what I truly witnessed myself, because I've seen I was sleeping for very less time, but the sleep was very, very good, deep sleep. I used to use this extra time to study. I personally feel I've taken quantum leaps only because I've learned, I practiced what I've learned. If I didn't have that consistency, I don't think I would have come this far. So the secret of changing your life is always in your habits. So the tiny habits that you do. So always look at your daily behavior, your routine, and see what is that you're doing now and how can you change it. What is one thing that you can do to start meditating? What is one thing? They say that the research says we spend about at least 15 hours by watching social media. Even that is 1 minute, 2 minutes, you scroll. If you count that minutes, they say it's about 15 to 20 hours we spend in a week unconsciously. So look at those kind of habits, and I'm sure you can definitely take some time for meditation. Again, Patriji made it very simple that he said all you need to do is meditate only for the number of minutes of your age. And I don't think that is impossible at all. I'm sure we can carve out some time for meditation.
Correct. Rightly said. Thank you so much for elaborating such extensively. Vikalji, I think you raised your hand. Let me unmute you. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sunil. Good evening, Binduji. Thank you very much. It was a fantastic, session and wisdom, knowledge. We have been, understanding about the brain most of the time. Now it has opened up the, different direction of the towards heart. So my question is, on the forgiveness you have talked about. So what I see is, it's kind of two things in the forgiveness. So my two questions are there. One is when you are doing something wrong with somebody, then you get into the, okay, I have done something wrong, whether he will forgive me or not. If not, then you remain into the guilt. So part A of that. And part B is some people feel that you have done something wrong with them. So they are going to forgive you or not forgiving you, whether you are getting that forgiveness. And when you did something wrong with other people are feeling and you want to forgive them, then how do you know that you have forgiven them and now nothing need to be done? So you are okay and or how long you keep doing this exercise?
Yeah. So again, many people ask me this question, and if you feel that you have forgiven that person, when you look at them, do you have a sense of oneness with them, and do you have compassion towards them? That's one way to check, right? If you have forgiven them. If you still have a trace of anger or frustration towards them, then you have not forgiven them completely. So always remember, everything any person is doing to us, it's not them. It is who we have attracted, right? So the reason why we are attracting events into our life is purely because of our thoughts, feelings, and emotions that we've been thinking about in the past. So people, if you don't forgive somebody, that means you're going to again create something of the same nature. So this is why forgiveness is important, to forgive them. So one other technique that I would like to give for anybody who's listening out there, this is given by my mentor Bob Proctor. So he said that if you have any hatred of or anything about somebody, write a letter to them, just vent out everything that you wanted to say to them. And one reason why people don't even forgive people is because they're doing a lot of self-talk, a mental talk. There's always a battle that is happening in the mind. Because you were not able to express something to the other person, you keep saying the words in your mind to the other person, thinking that he's listening. But that thought that you're thinking would actually go to the other person through telepathy. You are saying all the words to them, and it is actually reaching that person. So now, when you're actually doing that, you're co creating the same experience again. So, one way to do it is write a letter to the person and vent out anything that you wanted to say to them, and then just burn it. And when you burn it, you just kind of see that ashes, then where your mind will say, now you're done with that. And then you should actually start, feeling a bit lighter and not any hatred towards the other person. So this is a way to forgive as well, because our mind always looks for pictures or some kind of metaphor. So, this is a way you can actually, let go of all the hatred towards somebody.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
I
So this
hope
is
I've
one part of the
answered.
answer. And the second part, how to get the forgiveness when you feel that I have done something wrong with the people.
So, you want to know when you've done something wrong with the person, do you want to
Whether
know?
they have forgiven me or not, or otherwise I will remain in the guilt of that, so how to check that?
So see, when you have done, this is where the Ho'oponopono comes into picture. So it doesn't really matter if they have forgiven you or not, but as long as you could, say, you could forgive them, yourself for doing that. And again, why do we get these incidences? We are the creator, right? We are creating a reality. So if you can forgive yourself for doing that, then just let go. It doesn't matter. We can't change other people, right? We cannot never change other people. But if you can really change ourselves, things, and if you can radiate compassion and love to the other person, just like the way I told you, if you're battling in your mind with hatred and sending out messages, just send out love and compassion to the other person, and that person will really get the message. They will get your vibe. This happens very metaphysically.
Wonderful answers, Binduji. Are there any more questions or? Great. Thank you so much, Bindu. I don't see any other questions here. So I would like to extend gratitude to you for accepting our invitation to come on to this session. And, we would like to see you more often on this platform to share more detailed insights. I know there are few topics I have already made a note of. So we do conduct this session quite often under many banners. So we would like to have you, speak on those topics, specific topics. That will be really great to have you. I would now like to thank all the partners and organizers to support this program. I would like to also make a special mention to Omega Pyramid from Dallas, USA. It's because Srihari Sharma sir, he's the one sponsoring and supporting Omega Pyramid to this beautiful initiative. So I would love to invite Srihari Sharma sir to talk about, and then I'll invite Balraj. I think he has raised his hand. Sharma Garu. Yeah. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Sunil.
Yes,
yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Binduji, Bindu madam, thank you so much. Great session. Great. So beautiful session today.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, great wisdom sharing. A lot of takeaways to implement. So I will definitely implement some of the things, at least what you have shared today. So we have so Sunil mentioned Omega Pyramid team. So we are actually building a mega pyramid called Omega Pyramid in Dallas, Texas. So yeah, so I'm hoping that this Omega Pyramid will help in the sustainability of the earth and our environment. So the purpose, the main intention is to spread the meditation, the pyramid energies. So hopefully people will become more and more people will become vegetarians. So pyramid will play its role, I'm hoping. So do you have anything to share on this pyramids and mega pyramids and anything pyramid things, madam?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think you brought a beautiful point about sustainability, which I like to share. Dr. Bruce Lipton says we need 1.6 Earths for our planet to sustain. We have only one Earth, right? So where is the 0.6? We're already in a deficit. So this is why the great collapse is coming. So it's also very important for all of us to be very mindful of what we're doing, usage of plastic, our thoughts, and again, using of pyramid energies is very important because, as you all know, the importance of pyramid energies. So, this message, not everybody might know, but, we need 1.6 Earths to sustain our planet now. So we are already in a deficit of 0.6 Earths. So I think it is a wake-up call for all of us to be very mindful, become conscious leaders, be aware of your thoughts, feelings, and our emotions to make sure that we are contributing to Mother Earth, because, there is no other Earth. So this is very important. Thank you, Sharmaji.
Thank you, Bindu madam. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sunilji.
Thank you, Sharma sir. Thank you very much. I'll now invite Balraj ji to Balraj, I hope you can. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. And I just wanted to express my deepest gratitude to you, Binduji. I was driving and I stopped myself and I wanted to come and actually express, you've made me feel so proud and all of us so proud. I remember 4.5 years ago when we were all struggling with lots of challenges in our lives. Uh, you know, um, we were kind of, like poles or stones in the path of nowhere. And suddenly we found a master called Patriji, who actually came into our life and, probably turned not only my life, but every person's life who got associated with him. And I'm a firm believer of women empowerment. And today, I've been following you. I've been following you for the last few months, and the kind of growth you have done for yourself as a woman, I am so proud of you. And I salute you for whatever you're doing, because, they say that this world is a man's dominated world. But when I see women like you coming up and encroaching, and trying to change the trend, trying to change this so-called, uh, you know, uh, false notion that it is kind of, a man's dominated world. And I say, look, this is the person who's going to do it. And I'm so proud of you, Binduji. Absolutely amazing. God bless you in this venture of yours. And, I don't have any questions for you, but I just wanted to ask you that, all of us are going through challenges. And then in this crowd of maybe thousands and millions, a few got up, took the courage of getting up and trying to see for themselves, that they could see some bright light. I mean, some of us saw little light for ourselves, but some of you, like you, saw that huge aura of light in front of you. You visualized it and you kind of got up amongst all of us. You got up and you started walking and you started jumping and you started sprinting and you started running. And today you are almost there. You're almost there where we all want to be there. So what my only thing is, what came within you to kind of, go for that?
Oh, thank you so much, Balraji. I'm really, honored for your message. I think, again, the sustainability of planet, 1.6 Earths we need to, sustain our own planet, right? Doesn't it feel like it's all of our responsibility? And this is where I felt like, at least being alive and knowing this message, it's very important to spread this message across the world. And this is when I started, teaching meditation to many doctors in Pakistan. And, again, it was so great to see many doctors, practicing meditation and also counseling. They started believing that, medications does not cure your body, but it only suppresses the symptoms. You need meditation. So even if you see one change in a doctor from Pakistan, it is actually causing a ripple effect in the world we are in. And I feel that, I'm just doing my part. We need many people like this to, as a torch bearers, to come and share this message to the world. But I think my message actually has come, again, that inspiration has come from Dr. Bruce Lipton, who talks about, the sustainability of the planet. And this is where I try to empower leaders. The academy that I've set up is to empower leaders to elevate humanity. This is what is actually causing the bigger, in a bigger picture, the what we are seeing in the world, all these catastrophes is only caused because of this lack of humanity. So this is why I chose to take in this path.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you,
Thank you
Balraj.
very much, Baljaji, for your very kind
Yeah.
word.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. And thank you, Sunil, for your wonderful session that you conducted. You actually, managed it so well, it's so difficult to, to kind of, come up with questions for somebody who's got so much of wisdom, so much of experience in this such a short span of time, and you managed to do this whole thing with such amazing energy. So thank you, Sunil. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
To the
Balraj.
entire team of INFINITI. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a team effort. We are all pulled in
you.
questions from different masters, and that's how I'm just a medium to just ask this. All right. Thank you so much, Binduji. And
Thank you.
I would also like to mention a special thanks to the directors of PMC, PMC English, Mr. Anand and Mr. Naukant. And thank you, Sampath, for ideating this program, and Sharma for, we have another Sharma, for all the coordination behind the scene. I would also like to thank Parinita Patri ma'am in encouraging and supporting us throughout to conduct these programs. I thank all other masters, Meditation Magic from Dallas, all our partners, Breath Universe from Australia, Shambhala Solutions, and IFSS from India, Beam from Germany, Madhu and Ram. So I thank everyone who has joined and making this a successful INFINITI program. Once again, thank you all participants for joining in. Thank you so much, Binduji.
Thank you everyone for joining this and inviting me here today. Thank you. It's a great pleasure to be here with all of you.